China's Deadly Bubble Chin Phase by Wani. And again, these maybe I shouldn't watch this because I'm still recovering. Like, I went up the mountain earlier today to do something for file some paperwork, and my foot started to swell up like a balloon, and I heard like the Velcro from the boot pop. And I'm like, okay, it's probably not good yet. It's probably not good yet. So maybe watching this is not the best idea. Maybe it's not the best idea, but we'll get into it. We'll see how far I can. If I'm like, no, or I start sweating bullets, then obviously I shouldn't be watching it. But yeah, this is China's Deadly Bubble Chin Disaster.
We all know that having a sharper and more defined jawline is probably one of the best aesthetics you can have. And after taking a totally unbiased facial analysis that's not led by unhealthy beauty standards or anything, it told me, yeah, you know what you need? More chin. And luckily, I'm not the only one, because recently on Douyin, people started injecting these unknown substances into their chin just to stretch it into that super sharp V-shaped aesthetic. Except what started as a sharper chin started...
It's so strange how, again, beauty aesthetics around the world just... Sure, there is like an ideal standard for most people. Normally it's fit, thin, you know, healthy body. Let's say that. Women have a figure. They have a figure. Long legs, figure. I think that's the more generalized view. And guys, well built, muscular. But in like the US, it's like the chiseled jawline where it's, but in like the more of the East, or at least in China and Japan, it's the sharp, or South Korea, like, you know, the K-pop models. It's the non-existent, effeminate kind of view where it's a straight, sharp jawline, not jutting like a shovel, like you can dig the earth. No, it just, it looks like you poke someone's eye out. It's so strange. Again, they're each their own, but I find that fascinating. I'm more of the round. I've got the rounded look. That's because I've been gaining weight while in recovery. I need to hit the gym. Well, I probably wouldn't. I just need to start running. I need to start exercising intensively, because it's just like I look at my wife and I'm just like, how could she pick me? Because I'm just gaining so much weight. I love my wife. I always need to say that. I need to make sure to always say that in almost every single video. I say almost because I don't think I mentioned it in the last video. But yeah, I always need to include that.
Uncontrollably getting lost.
People should never resort to such surgeries. You should just be fit, do better hair styling and clothes. Yeah. Again, well, it depends. Like for me, I don't have hair because I was on steroids at the age of 12 for arthritis. So yeah, I've always had like things here and there. I don't know if that's but so steroids make your hair go away, makes your hair grow away. But of course, it was prescribed by a doctor, so it was good steroids. But drugs always do bad to your body. Like most things, I think I'm allergic to now. Like most painkillers, I'm allergic to now.
Longer and longer, which is how millions of people started ending up with these so-called deformed bubble chins, where your chin just starts drooping and growing downwards. And honestly, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
What is it in Fairly Odd Parents? Was this the Cincinnati? What was the guy's name? What was the guy's name in Fairly Odd Parents with the budding chin, the giant chin?
Now, how did this all start? You see, in traditional Chinese facial aesthetics theory, there's this thing called the golden ratio of the face. Basically, they divide your face into 3 horizontal sections, and in an ideal face, each section is supposed to take up roughly about 1/3 of your facial length. You know, so all sections are in harmony together, okay? Everything needs to be harmonized nowadays. Now, guess which section everybody suddenly became obsessed with? Yeah, the bottom half. No. The bottom half of your face. Because apparently your chin isn't just your chin anymore. It's now responsible for determining whether your face looks balanced, long enough, slim enough, feminine enough. You name it. And there's one celebrity that gets brought up over and over again, and that's Angelababy. She's basically treated as a blueprint for perfect facial proportions. Heart-shaped face, sharp jawline, balanced profile, everything matching those so-called golden ratio measurements that everyone's obsessing over. Whether she's had plastic surgery or not, that's been debated for years, and that's besides the point. The point is that she's become the reference image everyone is chasing. So if you naturally have a square-shaped face or a pear face, congratulations. You failed before the game even started. And I'm not even exaggerating either, because some of these beauty companies advertise that having a short chin disrupts the proportions of the upper and lower face. So you gotta make sure that you have a chin that can slice through anything. And this is why chin augmentation has exploded in popularity over the last few years. It was simple. You inject filler, most commonly hyaluronic acid, once again, into the chin, and it can either push your chin forward, make your face look longer, or...
These people are just... Again, I was talking about it in the first video I watched, where people just need to learn who they are. be happy with who they are, make sure they find out who they are as a person instead of chasing like, so in the West, a lot of people don't know who they are and they're chasing like the popular thing. And in the video I was watching, the popular thing at that point in time was like the trans identification. So everyone's chasing that, and that becomes their entire life, because guess what? They don't know who they are. They identify who they are with what they are following. So they'll completely copy and paste that without figuring out, what are my interests? What do I enjoy? What do I want to become? They don't know any of that because they've never spent time figuring any of that out. And again, a lot of people, even if they do have a good head on their shoulders, still fall for that. So many people will follow crowds in school just because they're the popular crowd. It's what the rich kids are doing. So I want to do what the rich kids are doing. Again, I always wore the same kind of gimmicky shirts. Always. I mean, heck, my wife has seen pictures of me wearing shirts that said like game over, where it's a wedding couple, or it's like, I don't want to be here type thing. And it looks like a piece of paper taped to my shirt. It was always gimmicky, but it's just who I was. I knew who I was at a young age. I had to learn who I was at a young age. And a lot of people, because I had to grow up quickly. I had to grow up quickly with my ailments always. So seeing people later in life just feel lost is I don't know the best way to say it, because I think it's like alien to me. It's alien to me because I just don't understand that. Like, I remember watching Stranger Things season 1, 2, 3, like, okay. When it got to like their season 4, like episode 1, they're in high school. I'm like, turn it off. They're acting like kids. Because I never went through that phase. Like, they were acting more like adults in the season 1 and 2 than they were in season 4. They were acting like annoying little children, little high school kids. I'm just like, nope, because I never went through that phase, so I couldn't relate to it. I could relate to them having to grow up as kids, but I couldn't relate to them being childish. So it was weird for me to. So I never finished the season. I never finished episode 2 of season 4. I haven't even gone on to season 5. I just like, okay, I'm done. It just didn't relate to me. But so many people are chasing that. And again, with these things in our pockets, so many people follow people that they think are the ideal, or they're constantly being told they're not enough because somebody's trying to sell you something. Guess what? If somebody's telling you you're not enough, they're trying to get into your wallet. They are trying to get into your wallet. Get this facial surgery, get this cream, buy this clothing, buy this right here, get this right here. With this self-help book, you'll have 5 stages to make yourself rich and wealthy. Everyone's trying to sell you something when they tell you you're not enough. You are enough. You just have to work on yourself, for yourself. You have to always clarify. You do things for yourself and only for yourself. Or maybe your significant other. That's probably it.
Create that super pointy V-shaped look that everyone was chasing. It was easy, cheap, convenient, and fast. Since you're not committing to permanent surgery, you're just trying it out. You get a new
It's so idiotic. People should work on what they have without doing any harm instead of obsessing over what they don't have naturally. Yeah. And the thing is like they spend too much time on social media staring at it. Here I thought India was bad with the whole fair and lovely whitening creams, but China and Korea are completely over. Yeah, they're insane. I think it's strange in India where it's like fair skin culture, and then you go to like California where it's like they want the natural tan look, so they'll go to tanning salons or they'll be out on the beach, or they want the darker skin. They want the darker skin. It makes no sense. No matter where you go in the world, they're chasing the thing that's somewhere else in the world. They're always chasing it. They're never happy with who they are. They always want what someone else has.
You post your pictures and it just slowly goes back to normal. No commitment at all, basically a free trial for your face. So naturally, people loved it. But then after a few months, some people's chins started getting swollen and started growing a bit longer than they'd like. Just a bit. So they went to dissolve the filler. And even afterwards, it just started growing longer and longer, uncontrollably. Their chins just didn't seem to know when to stop. And over time, gravity started pulling it downward until the entire lower half of the face was distorted, which is what eventually created a new variant of our bubble face disaster. It's like their little brother, the bubble chin effect. Now, of course, people start asking, what is going on? Okay, how is this even possible? Well, according to multiple reports, these people weren't actually getting ordinary filler anymore. Instead, many people ended up having baby face collagen and growth peptides injected into their chins. And these were promoted as a newer type of wrinkle removal filler that would supposedly stimulate the person's own cells. Okay, stimulate them to do what exactly?
下巴打的三角因子现在越来越大，网络能找到帮我解决我这种问题，因为我去年在长沙，做了2次，但是没有做好。其实我一直在修复人脚，找不到真正能解决问题，千万要谨慎哈。所以那个产品如果里面有三角因子什么的，那就会跟我这样子后悔莫及。
Unlike normal temporary filler that just gradually disappears over time, this material behaved completely differently. Instead of being absorbed by the body, it stayed inside the tissue and started shifting around as well as harden and stimulate this abnormal growth. And combine that with the fact that your chin is constantly moving. Every day you're eating.
The worst thought came to me. I was like, a bunch of men will be purchasing this product soon. You're telling me there's gonna be a growth hormone that grows and stays? Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate the world we live in. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's just, I saw that. It's just like, of course, someone's gonna use it for that. Someone's gonna attempt it. Oh my gosh, I stopped watching Instagram completely. I used to watch YouTube Mod on my iPhone to remove shorts from homepage and everywhere else to improve my attention span and not waste my time. I don't know how people get sucked into shorts. I guess it's just that I haven't found shorts that enjoyable. Like, I just feel like I'm wasting time. For me, I can watch a 3-hour-long video on YouTube, like someone doing a documentary or something. I have no problem with that. But a short, I just can't. I just can't. It's like, I'm bored. Like, I don't know. I find something much more enjoyable long-form content. But I guess that's just who I am. I grew up sick and watching like really old movies and shows.
Talking, smiling, you're just making facial expressions. And over time, gravity starts pulling your chin downward and the filler also starts going lower and lower.
我下巴变成这样了，这个是我6年前打的玻尿酸，但是当时第一次做这种东西不太懂，然后也没有做功课，我就去了一个小美容院打的，这已经整整6年了都没有代谢掉。我不知道是因为那个人的技术问题，还是原材料的问题。好的时候，这个下巴也是凹凸不平的，然后不好的时候，比如说我熬夜啊，或者说上火，它这里就会肿肿胀胀的。我昨天晚上是喝了酒加熬夜，一觉醒来这里肿得跟鸡蛋一样，而且很硬，就是异物感很明显，而且我没有办法张大嘴说话，也不能笑了，只要一用力，这里就很疼。我的嘴巴也是，我要刻意的闭上它才能合起来，不然它就是半开的，因为这很重。刚刚我吃了消炎药了，但不知道有没有用。你们有碰到过这种情况吗？这该怎么办？
And it somehow gets even worse because some people started developing bone resorption. Basically, the bone inside your chin can start thinning away, and this is exactly what happened to a Chinese influencer named Yaki. At just 16 years.
Okay, never mind. If they didn't get past, if they just stopped where I stopped, then yes, they're buying the product for what I said. If they got past and where I'm at, they are not going to buy that product and inject it in themselves. They're going to realize that it could rot away.
Years old, Yaki roughly paid
using
1,000 RMB for 2 chin injections. And it was simple, hyaluronic acid, the same thing everybody else was getting. It was safe. And immediately afterward, everything looked great. Her face looked noticeably longer and the natural V shape was there. But then something happened that, at first, she was actually happy about. Because the filler didn't go away. You see, hyaluronic acid is supposed to be absorbed by the body and dissolve after a couple months. And months passed, and her chin didn't change at all. At first, she thought, wow, what an amazing deal, right? Wait, everybody else has to keep paying for maintenance, but mine is still here? Talk about the worst buy one, get one free deal. Because eventually her chin slowly started changing shape. It started swelling really bad, and she experienced constant itching and redness. And slowly her chin started going downward. And real quick, this is all very dangerous, we know that, but having your data leaked is also bad. If you Google yourself right now, you might find your name, your address, all exposed by these sketchy data brokers. And this is why Incogni is a lifesaver. It tracks down all your personal data that's in the wild and removes it. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it.
Thank you, Incogni.
It just kept getting longer and longer, day after day, and it kept bulging, which eventually led her to that bubble chin appearance. This damage started affecting how her mouth actually functioned, and her lower lip wouldn't even open properly anymore. So for several days, her mouth was essentially stuck in one position. She couldn't eat really, and moving or talking with her mouth was almost impossible. And she was stuck living with
Only
it for
watch
years
YouTube?
as
Yeah,
her bone
yeah.
in the chin kept
Same.
thinning and weakening. In essence, we're like, why doesn't she just remove it? Like, why doesn't she just dissolve the filler?
Long-form content,
that
for
assumes
sure.
that what's inside her chin is actually filler. A lot of these bubble chin cases happened when people went to these unregulated beauty salons who use cheap counterfeit products. So if you don't actually know what was injected, how are you supposed to dissolve it? Whatever filler was injected could start spreading to multiple layers of tissue and even start mixing with other components of your chin. And every single time doctors cut into the area to do like a repair, it would create another injury. So
Well, it's funny because my surgery, I had a growth and I needed to get it removed. So that's literally what they got. But they self-injected a growth. For me, it was just, I just had to get it removed. I didn't inject anything in myself. I did not. I don't inject things. I'm afraid of needles, which is weird because I used to go to get my blood drawn weekly, and now I like see a needle go in me and I start to like hyperventilate and I'm like, okay, I need water. I need water. When I used to do it weekly, and for now it's just like I don't want it. I don't want it. Don't. Like I was panicking when I had my IV put into me. I'm like, no.
You know, you think people would just take a step back for a bit, okay? Just stop this, right? Unfortunately, it got even crazier because people who ended up with these bubble chins decided to take matters into their own hands to remove it themselves with scissors. Because there's another case that came out in June 2025, and this one genuinely sounds like a horror movie. It involved a woman in Nanjing named Miss Deng. Now, she was already trying to repair a previously failed bubble chin injection. She spent years trying to fix it. She searched on Douyin, Xiaohongshu, worst possible decision, by the way. And then she kept seeing posts from this one clinic page called Suzhou Yumei Medical Aesthetics. Every single patient they did had perfect results. Almost too perfect. I mean, if you take a look at their profile, they specifically advertise experience in repairing bubble chins involving these so-called growth peptides. Not only that, but they claim that they had specialized filler repair technology. Foreign substances stuck in your face? Easy. Complicated repairs that nobody wants to touch?
Just put more foreign substances inside in order to dissolve it.
This guy lives for it. So Ms. Deng traveled there for a consultation, and the price, 20,000 yuan. So definitely not cheap at all. And after a couple weeks of thinking, she agreed to it. And this is where everything started going downhill. I'll explain this in the least gruesome way possible, okay? Basically, they took a hot needle, and then they started using it to drag her chin back and forth. Yeah, I'm not a surgeon, but you know, if somebody tells me that they're going to take a hot burning needle and scrape it on my chin back and forth, I think I'll just live with it, honestly. Just 3 days later, large blisters started forming around her chin, and the doctors saw this, saw what was happening, and they basically told her, that's normal, just trust the process. And this is where they sent her home with instructions and Chinese ointment. Except the instructions they gave her to treat it at home were to use scissors to cut it off herself. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. And not even medical scissors either. So every day she cleaned the wound and would just start trimming at it every single day. And the wound, it kept getting bigger. And then signs of infection started appearing. And despite all of that, they kept reassuring her that if she kept cutting away at it, it would heal. I mean, it makes sense, right? Your body will start...
All this stuff makes me want to lose trust in the medical system. I know this isn't America, but America deals with this exact same problem. I don't know why. Why am I watching so much stuff that involves like surgery or treat? I guess I've always been watching Wani, and he's always kind of had videos like that, but it hits harder right after you've had an incision and after you've gone through a surgery. It just hits different. It hits different because your brain goes places where it shouldn't go. Oh my gosh. I can just imagine reading the instructions from the doctor. And I trust my wife on a lot of things. She'll always say that I don't listen to her like the first 20 times, but I listen to her on the 21st time. At least it's the first, right? There's a first there. No, but my wife is always right at all times. So I'd be afraid, like, if we got that note from the doctor and it had, well, make sure to unwrap the wound, to make sure you clean the opening, make sure after 3 days to snip the sutures so that way it opens up. I mean, would my wife do it, or would she go to... we'd go to another doctor to get another perspective. I mean, I don't know. I would trust my wife to do it, that's for sure. But I'm just thinking. It's just like, oh my gosh, because I wouldn't be able to do that to myself. I wouldn't. I would be like, this is what the note says, honey. Can you take care of it for me? I can't. No, actually, she would probably take us to the doctor. Yeah. She would go like, yeah, we need to go to get a second professional opinion. Yeah, another professional opinion. Oh my gosh. Bro, I'm not really into this type of thing. Imagine right after, or well, not right after surgery. It's been over a week now. It's been over a week, but watching it hurts. It hurts.
Adapting to it as you trim it and reverse curse technique. This continued for another month and a half, and at that point, her chin deteriorated so badly that a large hole had actually formed in her chin, and it left Miss Ding with a really massive scar that spanned over 6 centimeters across her chin. This was honestly brutal because she even said that this completely destroyed her life for those 6 months. And on June 17th, a reporter accompanied Miss Ding to go back to Yumei Medical Aesthetics to see what was up. You'd expect some kind of explanation or some accountability. Instead, when they arrived, the doors were locked and the windows were shut. Sitting at the entrance was a notice saying that the business is currently undergoing renovations and was temporarily closed. Of course it was. I mean, it's always renovations. They're just renovating how to cover up this case. But man, the timing was comical because the clinic that just announced that they had revolutionary filler repair technology literally just shut down in less than a year. And this is where people started looking at these failed cases of these bubble chins and these filler injections. And they said, you know why there are so many failed cases of these injections? You know why bubble chins even exist? Because they're not permanent. So they moved on to using chin implants. Basically, a lot of people saw what was happening with these bubble chins, and many of them gradually shifted to getting actual implants. It's not liquid, right? It's not filler, it's literally permanent. During a procedure, the doctor will make a small incision inside of the mouth rather than outside, because this will avoid scarring. That's one of the reasons why these chin implants are being marketed as being discreet. You just
see, the thing is, like, I have one of those in the back of my head. I have one of those, but guess what? They got was it an MRI? An X-ray of my skull, an MRI. Like, they got everything. They created a 3D print of my skull. They created the perfect mold for my skull. And guess what? They had the cutout and everything on my skull that they were going to do after the surgery. So that way the mold would fit into that. They had everything already pre-planned out and pre-worked. It's not going to be this one size fits all. Everyone's skulls are unique and different. Sure, we all have somewhat the same skeletal structure, but they're all different in one way or another. You can't just have a one-size-fits-all. That's impossible. That's impossible. We're not a beanie here. We're not a beanie.
choose the implant, and then it's directly placed into your jaw to either push it more forward or just completely change your side profile. Finally, the perfect solution. No more revisiting the clinic every couple months. No more bubble chins. Instead, you just install one permanent chin. But the reality is, it can get even worse because the implant can start absorbing into your bone. This is where many cases of bone erosion started happening because the implant started sinking into the bone itself. Not just that, but this patient here actually developed protruding teeth because the implant was severely compressing the roots of the person's teeth. And the implant started...
I noticed that these kinds of things happen everywhere, but it's 100 times worse in China because of extreme corruption, which lets these illegal procedures possible. Again... I don't know if China's, I think because the online landscape is so viral there, and because it's so consumed, like it's self-censored and everything. Everything that happens in China kind of stays in China, that once it comes out, it's more viral clips. But I think this kind of stuff actually does happen everywhere. It's just not as big. Because, well, there are already like 20 other bad things happening, and not everyone's chasing the same kind of ideal trends that happen on like Douyin. Not that like TikTok is any better, or YouTube Shorts is any better, or Instagram Reels is any better, but whatever.
Pulling the entire mouth outward.
But yeah, a lot of them I see in China are bad.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why most hospitals don't even do implant-based chin augmentation, and it's not because the doctors can't do it. The risks are just way too high and complicated. Of course, not every chin injection ends up with someone developing a bubble chin. There are legitimate medical professionals, but it's slowly becoming harder and harder for the average person to tell the difference. You can spend hours researching, looking at reviews, before and after photos, and you could still not even know what exactly you're walking into. And if anything goes wrong, good luck fighting a company funded by millions. I mean, what are they gonna do? Investigate themselves? Yeah, they're gonna do everything they can to cover it up. So yeah, once again, another bubble variant has emerged, and hopefully this time it doesn't get as bad as before, and people, see the red flags and stay away from it, because at this point, it's becoming like Pokemon evolutions. And taking a look back at my facial analysis from earlier, yeah, it does tell me that I will benefit from a longer and sharper V-line chin, but it also says that I will look great being bald. Yeah.
I think he will look great being bald. Huh. He actually does look good. He does look good bald. But okay, so statistically speaking, men think baldness in men is more attractive than women think baldness in men is. So women won't find this attractive, but me as a guy, I think it's attractive. I have no problem being bald because I think it's attractive. I like how I look. But women prefer hair. Women truly prefer hair, statistically over no hair. But he looks good bald. He looks good bald. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I don't think China's the only one, doesn't have it's bad. It's bad. Everything I see from China is bad when it comes to the bad surgeries. But everywhere has its problems. Everywhere has its problem. I don't want to just lean on to say it's China when everywhere has problems, but yeah, China's pretty bad. China's pretty bad with it. Oh my gosh, that's scarring. That's literally.
Like the video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, that.